Wallops Flight Facility here in Virginia. I'm NASA's Josh Tyler. We're going to be taking a look at tomorrow's test launch by Orbital Sciences as they get ready to test out their Antares rocket as well as getting the weather update. We'll also be talking today about Orbital Sciences' progress over the last few years as part of NASA's Commercial Orbital Transportation Services program. To my left is Alan Lindenmoyer, NASA's Commercial Crew and Cargo Program Manager at the Johnson Space Center in Houston. We also have Frank Culberson, the Executive Vice President and General Manager of Orbital Sciences Advanced Programs Group. He's making his encore performance today with us. We also have Mike Kingston, the Antares Program Manager of Orbital Sciences. We're also joined by John Dickerson, the Test Director for tomorrow's activities here at Wallops. We'll get started with Alan.
Okay, thank you, John. Well, it's been about 5 years since we started our program and our partnership with Orbital in the COST program, and there were 5 short years, Frank, to take that beautiful graph. It's always exciting to see your new graphs come to life, and when you drive out to the pad today, we certainly can see that. Brand new launch pad, a beautiful rocket, and it's certainly been an amazing 5 years. We began the program with several objectives. The first was to apply NASA strategic investments to stimulate the commercial space transportation industry. And I distinguish the transportation industry from the broader commercial space industry because it really implies transporting products and cargo to a destination in space and then potentially bringing that back, as opposed to just launching spacecraft or satellites, which has been a driving industry for years. So ours was focused on space transportation. We would do that by opening our vast resources at NASA, facilitating access to our expertise and our facilities and our equipment, and make that available to our commercial partners with the goal of achieving safe, reliable, and cost-effective access to space and to low Earth orbit and this International Space Station in particular. And if we were successful in doing that, we also recognized we needed to create a market environment that would sustain this emerging new capability and make that environment, help create that market. And the International Space Station provided a perfect market for these new capabilities with reliable and predictable needs. And we followed through with that commitment because shortly after our award by the end of 2008, we awarded Orbital and our other partners space a commercial resupply contract to service the space station. And in Orbital's case, they were awarded a contract of $1.9 billion and 8 resupply missions through 2015. You can bring up chart if you want. Okay. Now, under the initial agreement with Orbital, we were to make incremental payments up to $170 million for the successful performance of a series of milestones that we pre-negotiated under the agreement. Those were a series of 19 milestones that were to culminate in the demonstration mission to the International Space Station. Now, because we had limited funding in this second round of competition, we just didn't have the capability at the time to provide assistance and funding for multiple flights. Of course, that would have been optimal. But as 2010 came rolling around and it quickly became realized that the space shuttle would be retiring, the services of resupplying the space station from American soil was critically important. We began asking the questions, what could we do to reduce risk and improve the chances of success that our commercial partners would be able to provide these services? And in consultation with Orbital, it was determined the best possible thing we could do to improve our chances of success was to add a test flight, because testing is so important. And should there be a problem in these initial flights, we certainly wanted the capability and the opportunity to be able to give it another try. So in 2010, we requested funding, and in 2011, we were appropriated the funds to add in the additional risk mitigation milestones Those were a series of 10 additional milestones that Orbital has performed over the last couple of years. We added $118 million and the ability to add the test flight that we're about to see tomorrow. So we have left in the agreement 4 milestones. The flight tomorrow is one of the 4. We have a payment of $4 million on that milestone, and then there will be 3 more that will lead to the demonstration to the International Space Station in a couple of months. And that'll complete our COTS agreements. This does represent a new way of doing business for NASA. NASA is not directing the design in this case. We are a partner, we are an investor, we are a technical consultant, and we're a resource for Orbital to help them in many ways. And we have reached back for resources across all of NASA throughout the years, helping Orbital with the partnership. So it's really a different way of doing business. We're sharing the cost. We are certainly not paying the full cost of the development of these new capabilities. And I think it's been very effective for us. Next chart. So our other partner, SpaceX, completed, as you know, the COTS Space Act agreement. They completed their second demonstration mission and first flight to the space station last May. That program took about 6 years to complete from the beginning. They had a head start on Orbital. A year and a half later, we awarded in the second round competition agreement with Orbital. But you can see there's a very similar design cycle in bringing in a new capability like this online, starting with design and development, into test and production, and then finally the flight demonstrations. So this is telling us to create a capability like this is about 5 to 6 years. And with the successful flight tomorrow, Orbital will be on track for the ISS demo. Certainly taken a lot of hard work. Everybody has worked so well together between NASA Wallops, the Mars Authority, and Orbital, and all the folks at NASA. I want to thank them for getting us here to this point today. Congratulate Orbital for great work in getting us here, and we're certainly looking forward to the flight tomorrow and then the demonstration of the space station.
Frank?
All right, thank you very much, and thank you, Alan. And I agree, you guys have been great partners. On behalf of Mr. David Thompson and the entire Orbital community and team and the company, I'd like to again thank everyone for being here. We're very excited to be a part of this, very excited to be at this point in our history, and really looking forward to seeing it all come together in a column of flame and smoke and a little bit of steam maybe as we come off the pad. It has been a long journey to get to this point. It has not been without its challenges. One of the aspects of this, as Alan said, is we had to learn to work together in different ways between ourselves, our customer, our partners like Mars, our subcontractors even, and figure out how to do this on a commercial and cost-effective basis that's sustainable. NASA's investment in this has been very important. Orbital's investment has been extremely important, and then the investment made by the state of Virginia and by other parts of NASA have been important. So it's all going to come together and in the end provide us with a capability that we wouldn't have had otherwise. Alan and his team, particularly led by Bruce Manners and Kevin Lehan, have been great to work with. Whenever we had problems, as he said, we worked them together. It's important to strike the right balance there. We were very happy to have the help most of the time, and when we really needed it, we told you we really needed it. But when we needed to do things our own way and to make our own decisions, they gave us room to do that, and that was much appreciated also, because it is actually our rocket, our spacecraft, and our program, and NASA as our customer has a great deal to say in that, but we in the end are responsible for its success. And we as a team evaluate all of that, and we take inputs from everybody, but we totally understand our level of responsibility in this, not only to the company and to our shareholders, but to the customer and the country. So it's going to be great to see this come together. And Mike Kingston, our program manager, will show a few slides in a moment and give you a lot more detail on the launch. But I do want to say that we see this as a key milestone, improving what can be done in an industry-government partnership, and what can be done when people take a fresh look at how you can achieve spaceflight. And as Phil said earlier, there are many ways to achieve that goal. And this is the one we've chosen, and it works for us, and we're going to continue to build on that. Once we have flown this test flight, we will turn around and get ready for the demo mission in about 3 months, go all the way to the International Space Station, and I'll show you a brief video clip of what that'll look like. And then we'll proceed on from there to starting to execute that contract. Sometimes we get asked, well, you know, you only have a few million left on the demo mission there. A few million is a lot of money, by the way. But compared to the overall contract, you know, why is that important to you? Well, it's not a few million we have riding on. That's 1.9 billion in the company reputation. All the companies involved reputations, and so this is an extremely important achievement for us, no matter what the size of their milestone payment is. It's the whole team proving that we can in fact do this and do it in a different way and do it successfully. So if we could roll the video, I'll run through a brief summary